Hello, grade 7 parents. My name is Mr. Ray, and I'm your child's science and outdoor PE teacher. Welcome to virtual back to school night. I'm going to go through this as quickly as possible to make sure that I don't run over my time limit. But if you want to go through things with a finer tooth comb, you're welcome to pause the video at any point on the blog to get more information. So things I'm going to talk about are the classroom leadership and homework, a preview of the curriculum, just a basic one of some big ideas, some activities and assessment, some distance learning features, and the outdoor education program. First thing I'm going to do is move myself out of the way. So classroom leadership, these are the 5 rules that all the students in middle school follow, and they are: listen and communicate, respect yourself, teachers, peers, and the learning environment. They need to be on time and prepare for class, and be on task and try your best. That's my favorite one because we preach a lot about giving your best effort and talk about neuroplasticity. And those are the things that impress me, as opposed to just being born with the fixed mindset. We talk a lot about having a growth mindset, and the effort piece is huge in that. And of course, things that are becoming more and more prominent, especially with COVID and each and every year, being a responsible digital citizen. So we seem to be using that more and more each year. If they are breaking any of those rules, they get a verbal reminder and then a personalized tool to help them get back on track, whether that's a fidget toy or a quick walk, whatever they need. They break the rule again, or they get a written reminder from me in an email that they need to do a reflection task, and that also gets sent to you. And if they're just having a bad day and they just keep breaking those rules, then they're going to go see Dr. Mitzmacher or Miss Gordon to discuss the behavior, find the outcomes, and of course, both the teachers and you guys will be in on that as well. As far as homework and grading is concerned, we use a variety of assessments, projects, quizzes, tests, hands-on learning, labs. So it's and presentations. So a lot of variety in there. Any rubric that we talk about, we go over beforehand. But I also find that sometimes when we go over it at the start, then sometimes kids don't go back to it and they miss it. So we make some graphic organizers for them and encourage them to revisit the rubric throughout the process so that they're staying on track, and definitely at the end, so they're not missing any major parts before they hand in their project. If they miss anything, they're responsible for it, and if they need extensions or there's something going on, sometimes life happens, they're encouraged to reach out to me on my email, j.ray@theojcs.ca. I do encourage the students to do that to build up their responsibility, but sometimes if it's not possible, then by all means, shoot me an email as well. Any late assignments without talking to me ahead of time and something worked out are going to be deducted 5% per day. Some of the big ideas for this year in grade 7, we talk about ecosystems and a lot of biotic and abiotic elements. We get into some structures, so we talk about bridges and all the forces on them. We do a little chemistry with pure substances and mixtures, so we get out the beakers and the test tubes in this unit. Learn a little bit about heat as well, and in both of those units we talk about the particle theory and how that helps explain all the physical characteristics in both pure substances mixtures like homogeneous and heterogeneous, and also in the different forms of energy when we're transferring in heat. Let's talk about activities and assessment. So all of the rubrics or tests or any assessments are going to fall under either knowledge and understanding, application, thinking, acquiring, problem solving, or communication. So an example would be for knowledge and understanding, that's your usual quizzes or tests or just homework questions, course material and content. Do they know it? The application is the use of that knowledge, either the hands-on tools as well, so in labs or coding or any of the 3D modeling, the online tools that we use, or anytime they're building something, so how they apply that. But usually it's more of the hands-on stuff. The thinking, inquiring, problem solving is more the higher level thinking. So can they connect that knowledge and understanding of the course material to their to other things, whether they're connecting it to their life or to something they're doing? Are they using the proper vocabulary? Or when they're researching and investigating, are they able to connect that back to our course material and the theory that we learn at the beginning of the unit? and of course the communication, whether that's oral, written, graphic, or a lot of multimedia. This time, especially during distance learning opportunities, we'll be using a lot of that. So that could be just as simple as reflections, or when they're making quality tutorials, or any presentations as well, are a couple examples. Some of the distance learning features, I do a lot of screencasting, so like similar to the one you're watching right now. When we do live classes, we use Google Meet. Any online learning programs like CoSpaces, when we do the virtual reality, or at-home projects, builds. I put the blog on here again just because that's sort of the backbone of our distance learning. Everything that's important goes there, all the lessons, all the unit stuff. So it starts and ends there, as well as everything that's on the distance learning schedule and the homework blog. But all these science-specific stuff is going to land here on the blog, so I've got it highlighted there. And then we like to try and get away from the computer as much as possible too, so we'll do some scavenger hunts and fun things like that as well. As far as outdoor phys ed goes, we use an acronym called REAL, be real, REAL, so the kids are supposed to be respectful, so then that leads back to our ladder that we talked about earlier. Giving your best effort and have a positive attitude. And then lastly, we work on those leadership skills by supporting, motivating, and encouraging others, and try to get away from the competitiveness. So we work on more of a leadership class and an angle that way. It seems to go a lot better for some of the kids. And we do that through active living and healthy living. In the active living, we do a lot of fitness-related activities. We are going to try to do some sports as well, but they are going to be modified and physically distanced. We'll still play some games of organization, working on skills like catching and throwing and accuracy. We'll do some orienteering and some obstacle courses, and hopefully in the winter get to do some snowshoeing and connect with the social studies aspect and the First Nations. And if all things go really well, and I'm really ambitious, I'd like to try to build some snowshoes with the kids this year so that we can use them. So healthy living is going to stay the same. We're going to be talking about the growth and development concepts, healthy eating and nutrition, healthy relationships between peers and adults, and how to work through things, substance abuse, and a big one that gets bigger every year, especially with COVID, is the mental health aspect and dealing with stress and coping with strategies. Thanks very much. If you ever have any questions, please reach out to me. Use my email address there, j.ray@theojcs.ca. And if you're wondering where to find any of the science stuff, there's the blog again, ojcsscience.edublogs.org. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful night. And please feel free to email me whenever you like. There we go. Bye, guys.